Our topic today is Smartsheet Control Center and Microsoft Power Automate. We will show how to set your whole Smartsheet and Microsoft environment so every new project is ready for effective teamwork from day one. We chose this theme because it reflects a simple idea. The most project managers spend far too much time copy pasting, linking files, renaming documents, and rebuilding the same setup again and again, and hoping that nothing breaks. With the right automation and governance, all of that work disappears and you actually get time back. Time to leave earlier, take a walk, reset, and let the system do the work for you. We'll start with an introduction of the team at Masa Consult, followed by a small announcement about today's giveaway. Then we will look at the real pain points many PMOs face when setting up new projects at scale, especially when different teams, tools, and templates are involved. After that, we will go through the solution architecture where we will explain how Smartsheet Control Center, Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, Power Automate work together to standardize, automate every part of the setup process. From there, we will jump straight into the live demonstration in Smartsheet. We will show how from an intake form we provision a whole new project using Control Center, how Power Automate builds the structured Microsoft working environment, and how members are added to teams, folders created, and permissions are all assigned automatically. We'll close with a brief section on governance, how to ensure consistency, quality, and visibility across dozens or even hundreds of projects. And finally, we'll wrap up with Q&A and next steps, plus share a few resources to help you get started with Power Automate after the webinar. A quick reminder, this session is interactive. If you have a question at any point, anytime, feel free to type it directly into Microsoft Teams Q&A panel. You will find the Q&A button at the top of your screen. We'll collect everything throughout the webinar and answer your questions at the end, so please don't hesitate. We're here to help and happy to dive into anything you're curious about. Before we continue, quick heads up, we'll be running a short knowledge quiz later in the session. It's a fun way to check what you've picked up, and it gives you a chance to win some Smartsheet goodies. We have a few branded items to give away, including tote bags, nice notebooks, and some other Smartsheet merch. And we will draw winners from those who participate in the quiz. So stay tuned, keep an eye on the questions, and don't miss your chance to win. Let me briefly introduce Masa Consult and today's speakers. We are Smartsheet Aligned Gold Solution Partner operating in EMEA, while based in Germany, but our members are in multiple countries in Europe. First, we have Blurton Zainelli, Senior Solutions Consultant, joining us from North Macedonia. Joining us as well today is Kamil Tomaszuk, our Digital Solution Architect, joining us from Poland. And finally, myself, Radovan Stejskal, Marketing Manager, and I'm joining from Czechia today. I'll be guiding you through today's session as your moderator. Behind the scenes, managing chat and Q&A, we also have Maxim Lobko, who is based in Germany. Blurton and Kamil, meet me on the stage. Tell us about your Smartsheet journey, how it all began. Over to you, Blurton.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. It's really a pleasure to be a panelist in this webinar. My name is Blurton. I'm a senior solutions consultant. I mainly focus on delivering training in Smartsheet, preparing Smartsheet solutions, preparing solution architecture, and so on. And I work with multiple clients globally on helping them utilize Smartsheet and get the best out of this platform. I have a couple of years of experience in international consulting, project management, and digital business transformations. It's really nice to be here, and I look forward to the conversation today. Thank you.
Thank you. And Camille, tell us about yourself.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all here. My name is Kamil, and I have a background in food industry. I was for several years an NPD specialist and working with the new project, with the new products. We used Smartsheet, and I dive into it, and for several years providing services as a freelancer. And still this year, I joined Masa Consult as a digital solution architect, and I'm responsible for Smartsheet solution and the Power Automate, and how to connect both of them inside the Smartsheet environment. Thank you.
Interesting, very interesting. We have short poll. Before we dive deeper, I'd like to run a quick poll about how you are currently setting up your projects. We've prepared 4 quick questions. It only take a moment. You can open it right now by scanning the QR code with your mobile phone. That's the most convenient way. Alternatively, Maxim will be posting a short link in the chat if that's easier for you, and it will open up in another browser window so that you can answer. And we're asking things like how long it typically takes to set up a new project, which collaboration tools you use, if it's Teams, SharePoint, Slack, Google Drive, and so on. Or which parts of project setup do you find most time consuming? Your answer will help us understand where you are coming from and tailor the follow-up of today's session to your needs. I'd be handing over to Blurton. He works directly with our customers on daily basis on project setup, solution design, and he will walk you through the core pain points he often sees and what ultimately led us to explore this automation approach at all. And you will see later today. Blurton, over to you. Stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Radovan. Thanks for sharing the context. And based on what you've just shared, I'd like to zoom in on the day-to-day pain points that we see in PMOs when it comes to setting up new projects. And I'd like to start with where most of our prospect customers are today. So setting up a new project is still a very manual sport. Any prospect customers that reach out basically jump between Smartsheet, SharePoint, Teams, emails. Maybe there is a legacy PMO tool as well, and there is very little true automation across all of them. Every new project feels like starting from scratch. You copy an old workspace, you hope the structure is still valid, you rename a few files, fix some links, and cross your fingers that nothing important actually is missed or not working. And in many organizations we talk to, the whole setup actually depends on 1 or 2 people who actually know how this is done. And if they are busy, if they're sick, if they're unexpectedly on vacation, the new project simply waits. This is exactly the pattern that we see again and again when we start working with many PMOs and also start speaking to many prospect clients. So when we talk to PMO leaders, the pain points are really surprisingly consistent. First of all, the ramp up is very slow. It often takes days or even weeks until a new project has all the right sheets, reports, dashboards, a SharePoint site, a Teams channel for discussions, a meeting in place to basically kick off so the team can really get started. Secondly, templates are all over the place. Different project managers tweak their structures. There is different naming, different columns, and over time, you end up with 10 different versions of what was originally the same project template. In addition to that, there is no single source of truth. So this is another huge obstacle that we see in many PMO situations. Status and risk live partly on Smartsheet, partly on PowerPoint, um, partly on emails to steering committees and leadership and so on. And because of all this, PMOs simply spend a lot of time preparing updates for their leadership, for their management, instead of actually focusing on portfolio decisions and governance itself. And what is the impact of all this? So these pain points are not only operational, they actually have a real impact on the business. And we all see that every day with many PMO situations. So new initiatives are simply being delayed because project kickoffs depend on someone finishing the manual setup work that I was just speaking about. The decisions are slower also because the right people do not always have the right information at the right time and therefore cannot move further. Ownership is often unclear. We don't know who actually has access to which SharePoint site, which dashboard, which register. Over time, any ad hoc permission changes create a risk, both for compliance, but also for data exposure. And now also the most frustrating part, simply project managers spend a lot of time on their administrative work, including renaming, moving, fixing links and permissions, instead of actually leading the project and doing what they are supposed to do, and managing risks and engaging stakeholders and so on. So this is exactly the gap that we want to close with the solution that we are planning to show today. So what is the alternative to all this and to all of these pain points that we just discussed about? So the vision we work towards with our customers is very simple. You submit one intake, you click once, and you get a fully governed project. This is the idea behind what we are planning to show today. So instead of starting from an old copy, you simply trigger a standardized blueprint in Smartsheet Control Center. That blueprint already knows which sheets, which reports, which dashboards, and which metadata are needed for your PMO. In parallel to this, the system also prepares the digital workspace around the project, the SharePoint site, the Teams channel, folders, and even the first meeting to get all the entire team together and to get everyone started. From the user perspective, it just feels like I simply request a project, and before I finish my coffee, everything I need is ready, and we can get started with the new project. Now, there are a couple of building blocks to this solution. And before we go into the practical side that Camille will be showing the entire solution, walking us through, I'd like to just walk into like what are the building blocks so you also have this understanding. So first of all, we have Smartsheet Control Center. This is where your PMO basically defines the standardized blueprints. And it defines simply which templates, which sheets, which reports, which dashboards, and which governance rules every project must follow. Secondly, there is a blueprint intake. This is the central point for new project. It captures information such as the project name, sponsor, business unit, criticality, and anything else you need for governance. Third, there is Power Automate. It acts as a conductor and it listens for events from Smartsheet, for example, when a project is marked as approved, and then automatically runs all the cross-tool actions. And finally, the rest of Microsoft 365 ecosystem. We have SharePoint for documents, Teams for collaboration, Outlook for calendar invites, and then Power Automate basically connects all of these pieces around your Smartsheet-based PMO. And now we start with the pain points, and we also discussed what are the building blocks. If we put all of this together, there is an end-to-end flow that looks like this. So initially, we have the project request submission. A business user or a project sponsor submits a project request through the intake process. This could be either Smartsheet form or a structured intake sheet. The PMO reviews and approves this request. That approval triggers Smartsheet Control Center to create a new project from the blueprint, including all the standard artifacts you need: open points, risk registers, project plans, dashboards, program overview, and so on. At the same time, Power Automate takes over and creates the SharePoint site. It creates a team channel for this project, assigns the right owners and members, and even schedules a kickoff meeting with the right people that you have assigned and the people that need to meet to basically kick this off. The result is that by the time the project manager is ready to work, they simply do not have to do what we see in many prospects. They don't go and ask, where's my workspace, where's my meeting, where's my SharePoint environment, and so on. Everything is already set up. It's governed by the rules that you have pre-prepared, and it's always consistent. So that is the big picture, basically, of how it all connects. And now I'll pass back to Radovan to walk you into the 3 live scenarios where you can see this in action, what we are planning to simply show today before my colleague Kamil basically walks us through a short demonstration of the solution. Thank you very much.
Well done, Blatton. These are certainly very common pain points you mentioned and the situation report in many organizations. I will call Kamil on stage shortly to show us his solution to some of these problems. In the first demo, he will show us how intake and control center provisions the whole workspace and dashboard. In the second demonstration, he will focus on how teams are assigned to the team's channels and permission set. And finally, he will round the presentation with assigning SharePoint folders. And the best part, it will all report back all the hyperlinks for kickoff meetings, for SharePoint folders, and Teams channel back into Sheet or dashboard for instant visibility for PM and for all people involved in the organization. So, stage is yours, Kamil. Show us Smartsheet.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Rado. So hello everybody again. Let's dive into our scenario. So we have a company with 4 different departments. So it will be like R&D, manufacturing, sales, and marketing department. Each of the department has a different director. Of course, in our demo, it will be me, but you can establish any other person here. And then the notification and all project data will be assigned to the proper director from the proper department. Also in our scenarios, all project above 10,000 euros should be approved not only by the director, but also as a vice president. In this role today, it will be me again. So here we will see the approvals from director and vice president, and all of this will work by the Smartsheet automation at the first stage. So let's fill the intake form. And this is the main difference between the regular project setting than the project setting with the Smartsheet Control Center. Normally, when you need to create some new project, you go to your project list, then find a project template, then save as new, and you hope nobody starts its own project in the template, because as it is, you need to find the way to recover to the basic file and then go with this. So let's fill the intake form, and let's use our Speak to Fill feature, which is a new feature of the Smartsheet. So our project name will be Webinar Smartsheet Power Automate. Project description will be the Power Automate in a Smartsheet project. Department Marketing. Business impact will be 5. And expected start date, let's do it tomorrow. Deadline, end of this year. And expected budget will be 100,000 euros, just to be above. Okay, so let's fill the form. Okay, so Webinar Smartsheet Power Automate, the Power Automate in the Smart. Here we can correct it a little. Project, so marketing department, business impact 5. Tomorrow's date, end of the year, expected budget is 100,000. Okay, so let's submit it. And this is all we need to do to create a new project in our Smartsheet workspace. So when we refresh the intake sheet, we already see that the project appears on the list. And we also have a notification as a director. So please approve the project. Here we have a form with all the information. If this additional files is needed, we can also add it to the form, and then it will appear here, and it's easy to know what is inside. So let's approve this project. And when we go to the approval column in the intake sheet, we see it's already changed to the approved. And because the project is above 10,000, we need to go to the vice president for approval as well. So here we have another form with more data than the first one. So it's customizable, and now we can just approve as a vice president. Okay, so the next pain point would be it's always sometimes you need to wait to assign somebody to the project, and you don't know who will be responsible. You wait for an approval and so on. So now we have 2 approvals from director and vice president, and the director also get a notification to assign project manager to this project. Okay, so let's put myself again. Yeah. And now in the assigned column, my name appear nearly immediately. So what changed on the beginning? So the approved status changed to approved, and also the ready to provisioning column is marked as true. So now the control center start to create the new project and establish all the connection between the sheet, establish the dashboard, establish the reports. So let's go and see what is in this project. So in this project set, we have a dashboard, budget tracker, metadata, plan, and so on and so on. So each of the project has its own link. So when it's provisioned, you can go through this link to the proper dashboard of the project and gather all the necessary data from the project. So in our project dashboard, we have information regards the project health, who is the project manager, the scheduled date, expected budget, also the weekly update, project team, and some shortcuts to the asset in the project folder. Then we have a part with the execution status. And here we have a divination through all the milestones inside the project with the progress bar, so we can control the status of each part of the project inside them. Then we have some reports regards the task, last past due tasks, upcoming milestones, last 7 days updates, the chart with the schedule completion, and also we have information, the report, which is filtered by the current user and the task which is assigned to them. Then in the project dashboard, we have also the risk overview with active rights, health, and rights list on the right. And in the last part, we have a financial overview. So we have actual spending. So actual spending is above the budget. So we have the red color here. So we have 14,000 above the budget, and the last entry here. So I think our project is already provisioned, so let's refresh. Okay, so here we have a new project which has all the data from our intake sheets. Yes, so webinar, who is responsible. Of course, this is a demo data to show all the features which you include here. So when we go now to the summary rollup, we would see our project is already here. And here it's a dashboard, which we checked. And the first Power Automate link is created. So we have a kickoff invite. So let's click on this. And as you see, here is a project name, then is a date. Yeah, and we can go to this meeting. And what is very important, this meeting is scheduled when everyone is free. So let's go to the details. And in the scheduling assistant, we see all the team members are available at this time. So basically the automation finds the first 3 time slots for the whole team and then schedule a half an hour meeting as a kickoff meeting. And what next, it's important to see that the project manager is an organizer of this meeting, and then rest of the team are the participant of this meeting. Okay, when we go also to the Teams card in the team, we see we have the Teams channel already prepared. And here we have a very nice space when we can provide any feedback regards the project, any news, and so on and so on. So we connected to Microsoft tools with our Smartsheet now. So we have a Teams channel and we have a kickoff invite already scheduled. And the last part is a SharePoint folder. So this is a space when you can share all the files inside the project. So here we have a project name, and sorry. Here we have a project name, and I wanted to show you that's the project manager is an owner, and then we have participants here. Okay, so basically in 3-5 minutes we establish the whole project with all the sheets inside, with the specific dashboard. We schedule the kickoff invite, Also, we created the SharePoint folders and the Teams channel. And regards this to, I would say it's a very big advantage because last week I tried to create it just by myself, and the Microsoft navigation is really crazy, and it's not so simple to create a SharePoint site just just for it. Okay, and the last part which I want to show you, it's a portfolio dashboard. So when we refresh that dashboard, we will see then our new project is already here. So we can uh, get this data inside our portfolio dashboard, and all the information like the project health, project divided by PM, so project manager. Then we have some information regarding the portfolio budget summary. Then we have a part with the risk. And the last part would be our links to SharePoint and Teams. And when we click to the SharePoint folder again, we will see it's working. Okay, so thank you very much. If you have any additional question, do not hesitate to ask them in our Q&A session. I think it's a very big advantage and get a lot of confusion, stress, and fear from anyone who needs to create a new project, because now he can just fill the intake form and he don't even need to type it. He can just say it what the project is about, and the automation will do anything with this and create the SharePoint and the Teams channel and the kickoff invite. So you can, in the 5 minutes, create the whole project environment and just start the work. Okay, thank you, Radovan, and to you.
Wow, it's really a magic. I can imagine it's a lot of time saved, and I see your reactions. A lot of thumbs up here, a lot of comments that you also see it as immense time saving. Where I personally see huge advantages, not only the creation of during the setup process, but also looking for the SharePoint folder anytime later in the process. You have such a beautiful overview in the portfolio dashboard where you can just grab the link anytime and you don't spend time searching for that um, in your computer. Now, Camille, please switch on the results of the engagement poll that we did in the beginning. And I can see 94 responses. Beautiful. You like to participate. I'm really amazed. So let's see, what do you think? The top two are quite even, 23%, somewhere between 30 to 60 minutes to set up a Smartsheet workspace. The second position, not sure, depends on the projects. There are more complicated projects probably or less. And then just to mention the third position, 17% less than 30 minutes. Let's look at the second question that we had today. So what do you think were the biggest challenges when setting up a new projects? The top position with 24%. Too many manual steps, copy pasting work. That's the top one. Second one I can see here, 15%, finding and applying the right templates. So that's quite an alignment what we as a team thought when we did this short poll in our small round. Let's look at a third question. If you can skip okay to next one. And perfect, this is in good alignment with this topic today. Microsoft Teams, SharePoint are the top two tools that you use. Slack just 1%, Google Drive, OneDrive. So Microsoft centric, that's really good. Last question was how do you schedule kickoff meeting? So 71%. So the total majority, creating manual invites and adding stakeholders one by one. Second position, not a clear formal kickoff process, so maybe just an email or ad hoc meeting. And I can see the third position, copying the last project to the new one, to the new kickoff meeting. So great, thank you for participation in the quick poll. Really nice to see the results and stats. It will help us to understand better your situation. So allow me to switch back sources to the presentation. So this will take a moment, and I will call Blurton to the stage, and he will start covering the governance part, the rules and the structure that needs to be in place, so that it works and it's not more chaos. So over to you, Blurton. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Camille. Thank you, Rado. Really impressive demo and presentation. I've seen the solution for many times now, and every single time that this is run from start to end, it is I'm amazed by all the automation that we're able to run with this and all the time that is being saved at this point. Now, when we speak about the automations, we all know it's great. It's saving a lot of time, and it is really helping our teams to actually deliver faster and more accurately. But if we automate the bad process, it is just creating faster chaos. So for PMOs, we always believe that governance is just as important as speed itself, especially when you have dozens or hundreds of projects. You always need a consistent structure. You need the same sheets, the same dashboards, the same way risks and decisions are tracked, and they are not all over the place. And on top of that, you always need clear roles. This is a discussion I have with many of our clients. There is always needs to be a difference between what the project managers can do, what the core team can do and see, what the leadership stakeholders can see, and sometimes even collaborating with external partners. So they should not have all the same level of access, and with this governance structure, they will not have the same level of access. And the good news is that with Control Center plus Power Automate, we can embed these rules directly into the setup. And when a new project is created, roles and any associated access can be applied automatically, instead of just handling it manually or project by project. Furthermore, into the standardizations, rather, could you, I'm not sure if everyone can see your presentation. Yeah, okay, good. So in addition to governance, the other aspect, which is like really crucial and we pay very close attention to, is standardization itself. And if we look at SharePoint and also Smartsheet Control Center, there is a lot of governance issues that actually are approached here. So in our approach, each project gets a standardized SharePoint structure, and it also gets the dedicated Smartsheet workspace or Smartsheet project folder. And each folder consists the documentation, the steering committee materials, decisions, and so on. So access is not managed manually on every folder, but instead we always define security groups that are mapped to project roles, such as project managers, core team, leadership, and so on. As Camille was showing, the project owners or the managers are usually the owners of the channels and the SharePoint spaces. This is also something that can be configured depending on the rules that the organization decide to actually set up. So when a new project is simply created, basically Smartsheet Control Center and Power Automate use the information that you have provided on the intake process. You saw on the intake process, we could assign someone with certain roles, and we can have multiple roles in there. So if someone is a project manager in Smartsheet, they will automatically get the right access, both in the newly created project, but also in SharePoint and also in the newly created Teams channel. In this way, we have a very strict structure in terms of who gets access to what, and the sharing is not ad hoc. It's not decided by request at the moment, although the opportunity to make such as adjustments and share certain things with the proper approvals and with the proper workflows always exists, but that should be an exception rather than a norm. So if the PMO at a certain time decides to change the standard access model, the change is always possible to be made also on the template and rolled out to multiple projects instead of doing it separately by project. So this approach is basically provides a good foundation for governance by design. And every new project that basically goes through the intake and the blueprint that we use uses the same pattern by default. The way the workspace looks, the way SharePoint is structured, the way access is assigned, it all follows predefined rules. I saw some of the questions in the chat asking about whether we can pre-populate SharePoint, whether something can already be there. That is also possible, but it's just a matter of making the decisions and structuring the initial setup in the right or the preferred way for the organization. And thus that would follow the structure across all multiple projects. In addition to that, we have the permissions that are no longer, as I said, results of any ad hoc edits. Over time, they're driven by clear logic, by roles, by responsibilities. This makes any audits much easier for all of you who are into the auditing processes. This should already ring a bell whenever you need to estimate and have an overview of your PMO processes and how everything comes together, who has access to what is our standard process. This just makes it way easier. You can simply explain who has access to what and why based on their roles on a simple project metadata overview. Now, most importantly, your PMO can focus on any exceptions and strategic decisions that are required for their work. For example, if there is a special handling for highly confidential projects, instead of just spending time fixing basic access requests or cleaning up inconsistent setups. So in a way or in another, this is where we believe that automation really pays off, not only in saving time, but also in making your projects and your portfolios safer, clearer, easier to manage in general. So in this way, by both combining automation and also having the right governance structure and a good governance architecture, we believe that we can use automation not only for speed, but also for control and increasing our capacities and processes for auditing across all projects. Thank you very much, everyone. I will hand it back to Rado for a short challenge, and then I think we can move into your questions. Thank you.
Rules, structures we have. That's great. Thank you, Blurton. We'd like to invite you to follow us on LinkedIn because that's where we post our Smartsheet innovative approaches, the creation that Camille and Blurton makes in the future for customers and upcoming webinars. This is all finding plays on LinkedIn. So we'd be really glad to see that you also follow us and also get value from new things on Smartsheet. Thank you for that. Let's start our challenge and also the road to giveaway of Smartsheet merch. So similarly as last time, take your mobile phone, scan the QR code, or Maxim will be posting another link in the chat so that you can open your browser and answer 4 questions about Smartsheet Control Center and Power Automate and what it actually does. And we will select 3 Smartsheet merchandise winners after this session. Please provide us email address, because this will be the only way to find out who answered, and also we will check back with you if you're selected about the shipping address. Otherwise we don't get that information, so please type in your correct email address. Unfortunately, I have one disclaimer to tell you at this point. We cannot ship outside of EU or economic European Economic Area because that would imply registration for VAT and import duties, and we're not set up for that. So unfortunately, and we're sorry to. I saw a lot of people in the US and UK, South Africa, just to mention few. We can only handle replies and winners in the EU. So maybe next time. Sorry for that. I think we have a lot of questions as I noticed. So Blurton and Camille will come back to the stage to answer. Let's check what are the questions. I think there might be actually quite too many to answer. We have about less than 15 minutes, 12 minutes. So let's go straight into it. So let me read the questions here. So one of the first questions that were from Jakub, why are you using Microsoft Forms instead of Smartsheet? I think I will take this one because I started it. This is about integration of Microsoft and Smartsheet, and we've decided for the poll to use Microsoft Forms. It's very quick to set up. Also, it has the presentation form so that you can quickly see the result, and there is no need to set up single dashboard charts, and it's way quicker than actually a Smartsheet. We had this discussion with the team, and I was the one to push for Microsoft Forms for a quick poll. Also with the formatting and making nice pictures around and sorting out things, this is still limited in Smartsheet. But let's go into the core of this session. Control Center, is it a crucial app? Can we take advantage from this solution without Control Center? Robert is asking.
I can take this one. Thank you for your question, Robert. Yeah, Smartsheet Control Center is crucial app to this solution, and it is basically putting together all the initial pieces of rolling out the different projects.
Very good. We have another question. Will these templates be shared with us after the call? So we'd like to encourage you to schedule a short 30-minute meeting with us so that we can show you and maybe roll out the forms to you. We will share recording of the session, and we will share the presentation, the slides, which include some of the print screens from the solution. But in order to start working, we suggest to schedule a 30 minutes meeting with Blurton. We will provide the link later in the email and in the presentation and in the chat. Blurton, do you want to jump on these?
Yep. I think I can address some of the next ones. You address, I think, the templates we shared with us. How do you build the
I think
workflow?
that's the best approach to schedule a meeting
Yep.
with you. So the next question that I see here from Dulce. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. How did you build the workflow for these project approvals? I think, Camille, that's towards you.
Yeah, I'll check. So basically, the whole approval automation is within the Smartsheet automation. So it's set up there and based only on the Smartsheet environment.
Very well. So, question from Beth. Will a recording of this webinar be shared? I will have to leave early. So if Beth is not with us, maybe my colleagues answer that question. Okay, so everyone, you will get an email from Microsoft Teams platform with a recording and with some initial information how to get in touch with us, how to schedule a meeting with Blurton, to follow up. So this has been taken care of. We'll also reach out personally to you next week. Also to those who couldn't make it, and provide you follow-up information and how to get started. So Helena Claudia is asking here if the Teams channel is automatically created. So Camille, can you take this
Yeah.
one?
Basically, we created the team in a Microsoft Teams and also additional Teams channel which calls Newsroom in this automation. And in the question above, also from Helena, is it possible to create it without Control Center? I think Blurton already answer this question, that the Control Center is a crucial part when it comes to providing the projects and then all the environment for them.
Okay. Horst is asking, what is the advantage of using both Teams and SharePoint in parallel? As he thinks that Teams is based on SharePoint. Why not just use Teams for storing all documents and files? So can you take that one?
Yeah, on me again. Of course, you can use the Teams and the SharePoint inside the Teams. The main feature in this automation is to create also the project structure in the SharePoint, because this SharePoint site is already linked to the team, so it would be available also from the Microsoft Teams. But we created also the folder inside this library, document library. So, for example, if you have different type of documents, like documents, photos, and so on, with this automation, we can customize it, like create 3-4 different folders for it, and then provide you the links to the exact folder which you can use for the specific type of files. Yeah.
Nice. Question from Michał. How did you set up automatic generation of links to meetings, SharePoint, and so on? Is this result of the Power Automate flow?
Yes. All the links which are in a Smartsheet, which appears in a Smartsheet, are the part of the Power Automate flow. So basically, the Power Automate provides these links to the proper row in a Smartsheet summary sheet.
Great. Matthias is asking, are automated permission changes during the life of a project also possible? So during a project.
Yes, I think we would need additional sheet as a trigger to make these changes, but yes, there is an option in the Power Automate to change the permission during the project.
Blurton, you also wanted to add something to it?
Add a bit to this, both to this question and also the next one. I think they are both similar to the other from Mora Sotonde, I think. So amendments to the projects after they've been rolled out is possible, and that is something that the tool can support, be that on Access and also adding new files or adding content or adding columns or adding making any changes to already rolled out projects. And these are automatically then reflected on the projects, and these are also reflected on your reporting at the portfolio level. Again, as Rado said, I would highly encourage you to also schedule some of these intro meetings where we can also discuss how certain pieces are together, what are the pros, cons, opportunities, and also limitations in terms of such changes. But at a high level, in general, these changes are possible.
Mhm. Burton, I think you can take a next question as well. It's from David Shturmovsky, who can give access to Control Center. So how is it done if they need an activation?
Yes. So Control Center is a premium application within Smartsheet. First of all, you would need to discuss with us in terms of gaining access to the tool itself, and that to be connected to your main Smartsheet account. And in addition to that, you would need to then prepare the configuration in Control Center so you can benefit from all of these advantages provided here and what we are showing here. So what you saw here is simply a result of two things. One, you would need access to Control Center as an organization and to have the tool in your disposal. And two, the configuration of Control Center to be basically rolling out the requirements or the workflows as we discussed today.
Okay.
Yep.
So we have less than 3 minutes in this session. So one last question is here. I will read it. And one last opportunity to type in question now. Otherwise, we can come back to you later. So Manfred Schröder is asking, he wants to know about Control Center and setting up projects. They usually have very complex projects using different streams. Is it possible to create a project containing different sub-projects? Each sub-project should have standardized template.
Yes. Thank you, Manfred, for your question. It is possible to create complex projects. It is possible to create both small-scale and large-scale projects. It is possible to create projects that contain sub-projects, and also for sub-projects to have their own structure that either report to the main project or serve as an entity on their own. So all of these all of the requirements you have listed are actually possible.
Thank you. So that's it. That's a wrap of Q&A part. No more question in here. One last minute. I want to summarize the follow-up after this webinar, what will happen. So we have an offer for you. It's valid today. We open the form for you to schedule meeting directly, really easily using Outlook scheduling tool directly with Blurton. It's free of charge, 30 minutes. The link won't be active too long. It's meant to be a decision today if you want to use this 30 minutes option. But of course, you will get an email from us with a recording. You will get this presentation as well with email contacts to us. We'd like to invite you to follow us on LinkedIn. We have YouTube channel, so that's where the webinar recording will go to as well. There are ways to engage with us, contact us. So please use this opportunity. I hope that you like this this webinar. And thank you for being with us today. I hope that we can help you to automate Smartsheet, and goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you soon later.